Hey everyone, welcome back to Where's Manufactured Home Tours, and thank you for clicking on this video and spending your time with me today. It's truly appreciated. Now today, we're going to continue on our California trek, and we're going to go back out to Paramount Manufactured Home Sales and check out another great home that I took a tour of. So let's hop on out there so I can tell you all about it. And we're back in sunny Southern California here at Paramount Manufactured Home Sales, and we are checking out this cute little home that would be perfect for a community here out in California, or heck, any real community, the way this is set up and so forth. And coming around the house, I wanted to quickly show you that right there by that plastic, that's where your water access is, and that plastic is actually covering your side door. And the home that we're looking at, everyone, this is known as the Victory M201J, built by Skyline Homes. This is a 3-bed, 2-bath that sits at 1,319 square feet. The dimensions of this home is 52 feet by 27 feet, and the base price for this home is $148,645, but as shown, it's $183,093. Let's continue our home tour. Let's get inside.
Where's Will?
I know. The first thing everybody's saying right now is $183,000. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is California pricing. So that's why I always say, click that link in the description below to find a retailer near you and get the pricing near you. Now, the living room on this home, everyone, is 15 feet 5 inches by 12 feet 6 inches. And do me a favor, hit that like button. It helps the channel out, helps me out, gets this video out to more people. And if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button so then you'll get notified to when these home tours are posted. Follow along. It's great. So this home right here, we've got 9-foot sidewalls, tape and texture throughout, candle lighting everywhere. We are walking towards the dining room over here off to the side, which is a good space. I like the big windows right there. And so far, it looks like we have a decent amount of cabinetry in this home. You have your dishwasher there, a nice big sink right there with that pull down faucet. That's great. Loving the black lighting in this home. It kind of gives it a little bit of character when it comes to the white and the brown and the color scheme. I do like the quartz top on this island right here, and that's one of those options that that made this home go from 148, I think it was, to 183. So, but take a look at this. I am digging the way this counter space is. I love the dip in that counter space right over there. This home is set up for gas, of course, but in the ordering process, you can change that for electric. You could also change it to white or black appliances if you like. That's always an option. And the cool thing about this home is we have a nice sized pantry right here in the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves. That's nice. And I mean, we have shaker cabinets right here, MDF covered, but they are good looking and quality constructed, I'd have to say. I do like the white lining inside. And on this island, you have all of these drawers. I don't know what I'd put in all those drawers, but you have all these drawers. So that's a nice one. I mean, on the bottom there, they're a little bigger, so some pots, some pans can fit in there. That is nice. And see, even this refrigerator, it's a French door refrigerator with an ice maker. That's pretty cool for a manufactured home, I'd have to say, especially when it comes with the house. Now let's continue on this tour and let's follow along. Now we're walking into the utility room right here. As I said, that plastic was covering that door, but you have plenty of room for your side-by-sides here. You got 3 drawers right there, a couple of cabinets. Nice size, looking good, adjustable shelves. You have your whole water cutoff in this room here, so if you ever need to cut off all of your water, that's in here as well. And like I said, your water heater is outside, but your furnace is in that room as well. But let's continue along and take a look at this first guest room. Now, this guest room, I love those long windows, and with 9-foot ceilings, you can have those nice long windows letting that natural light in. The size of this room is 9 feet by 12 feet 6 inches, which is actually a nice size. We have sliding doors for your closet here, but this closet has wooden shelves, and it has a wood coat rod held up by metal brackets. That's quality constructed, I'd have to say. I hope you agree. Hey, let me know what you think about this house so far. Let me leave me a comment down there. Let me know what you think. Give me a 1 if you're like, meh. Well, why are you doing this home tour? Give me a 2 if you're like, hey, standard home tour. Thank you. Great. Bye. Give me a 3 if you like it. Maybe tell me why. But if you love this home, Give it a 4 and tell me more. And as we walk in to the restroom here, or the bathroom, we have a nice, cabinet up top, a little bit of storage there. You have that nice window there, letting some of that natural light in, and some air, of course. And then right over here, you have your standard 60 by 30 wraparound surround shower with black hardware. That's actually looking pretty nice. The only thing I would like is like one of those shelves there, but you could always get one of those tension rods or those shelves in there. Just throwing it out there. And over here we have that single vanity looking nice. Now, one thing I do like is this home does come with a medicine cabinet. A lot of manufactured homes do not come with a medicine cabinet. So, and right here we have a nice like coat closet, or just a big closet right in the middle of the hallway, which is nice. Adds a little bit of storage space. And as you see right there, the air in this home is coming from the floor, so the registers are on the floor. And the second bedroom here is 9 feet 3 inches by 12 feet 6 inches. Almost a carbon copy of the other room with 3 inches more. Where are those 3 inches? If you find them, let me know in the comments below. But again, we have a nice size closet here. Quality constructed wood. Everything's looking pretty nice. And let me know, like I said, let me know what you think about this home. The flooring looks great. Again, big, long windows, lots of natural light. Now, they set this room up where the bedroom's over here to the right-hand side, but it would look great in between those windows as well. So you have a few options. Now, the size of this room is 11 feet 9 inches by 14 feet 2 inches. And the closet in here, I mean, take a look at that. You have shelves, coat rods, multi-leveled, a good amount of room on the floor too. That's nice. And just the whole overall spacing of this room is pretty nice in my opinion. Now let's see what we have in the primary. We have the dual vanities right there. We have a nice 42-inch walk-in shower with about a 6-inch drop. So when you step off, that's about how long that is. I could be wrong. It could be more like 5 inches. And what I do like is your water closet is right over here. Your toilet's separated from everything. A nice little window up top. Another glance at those vanities. Nice lighting up top. I do like the black trim all around the house. That's a nice touch. And then looking over here, we have even more storage, either linen or whatever you might need. But that is a sliding door, small closet right there, along with your big primary closet over there. So overall, I'd have to give this house, I would say, a 3.5. And only because I'd maybe want the door on the side. But I like the way this one's situated because this is great for communities. You can buy this one, put it right next to a 1976 manufactured home, or find yourself a nice community where all of them are looking like this. But I hope you enjoyed this home tour. I enjoyed walking through it. Let's head on back to the office and talk more about it. Welcome back from the home tour, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the Victory M201J built by Skyline Homes. That was a perfect home to go into a community, or heck, even your own land, which kind of brings me to what I wanted to talk about today, because I've done a few homes this past couple of times where, they'd be great for communities. And, a lot of people don't know the differences and the pros and cons of like community living compared to owning your own land and having your home on there. So I just wanted to read a couple of things that I found out about it, maybe spark some thought, and where you can do some more research following this. But, like manufactured homes, in a community, here are some pros and cons of living in a community. And, is it right for you? Maybe this will help, maybe it won't, but, the pros, lower upfront land costs, right? You typically rent the lot, so you avoid buying land. For some people, you don't have the land. Well, there's this option right here. Amenities, amenities are a great one, because I have filmed a few communities in my days, and a lot of them have some great amenities. Many communities offer clubhouses, pools, security, maintenance, common areas, places for children to play if you're in a 55 or younger, community, and social environment. It's a built-in neighborhood. More often than not, a lot of them are closed off. So, you depending on if it's a family park or a 55 and over park, everything is usually
closed down and your kids can play in certain areas, and it's pretty safe depending on where you are, and I mean, those are some of the good things about living in a community, but some of the bad things about living in a community, because I mean, with a lot of things in life, there's pros and cons to it, so the cons, lot rent, monthly rent can increase over time and it never goes away. In my last video, I answered a question on some lot rents in California, and those can range from anywhere from, I think the lowest I've seen is something around like $900 or something like that, just the other day, to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, just for lot rents, depending on where you're at. $5,000 being like closer to like beach communities and those really wanted, areas. But depending on where you go, those can be wide ranging. So do that homework right there. Rules and restrictions. HOAs or park rules may limit what you can do with your home or yard. I mean, that's almost with any HOA. So that's something to always consider right there. And less equity growth. Your home does kind of gain a little bit of value, but it doesn't gain as much value as if it was on land. You own the home, but you don't own the land. Now that is kind of impactful when it comes to the resale value. And well, if you wanted to take your home, with you, technically you can, because you own that home. But then you're going to have to pay $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 or even more to move your home to where you want it. So, that's always a thing to think about. And like I just hit on, that was a possible relocation risk. If the community is sold or closes, you may need to move your home costly or resell or whatnot. So those are some of the pros and cons of living in a community. So you have to ask yourself, is that for me? And just the same thing with your own land. Here's some of the pros of owning your own land. Increases equity potential and stability. When you own the land, not only does your house accrue equity, but your land does too. So those two combined, I do believe it's last time I checked, I could be wrong on these numbers, but I believe the equity rate for homes was like 3.8% or something like that, and for manufactured homes it was like 3.2%. This might have been a year or so ago, but yeah, it's really close. More freedom, fewer restrictions on customizations, additions, and landscaping when you do own your own land. Depending on if you're not in an HOA situation, you do whatever you would like. And again, I have traveled the U.S. and seen some homes, and I mean, I've seen them on huge farms, little tiny lots, 5,000 acre game preserves. It's some crazy stuff out there, and you could do a lot with these homes. Now of course, no lot rent, of course. Once the land's paid off, your outgoing costs are usually lower because you're only paying off the home. If you're paying off the home, what are you paying? Taxes? That's nice. Appreciation potential. Land value can increase over time, benefiting resale, like we were saying a little bit ago. And now the cons. For this is higher upfront costs. Land purchases plus site preparation, utilities, foundation, permits can be expensive. Depending on where you're at, you might need sewer, you might need, electrical ran out there, this, that, the other. There's a lot to that. So when you go into that process, make sure, you have all your ducks in a row when it comes to that. More maintenance, of course. You're responsible for your own maintenance. You have to get your gardener. You have to, take care of it, which is, hey, I wouldn't mind it. A Saturday morning mowing my own lawn, and I own that house. There's something special about that, really is. Financing complexity. Land home packages may have restrictor loan requirements. There's companies out there that specialize in land home, one-time close deals, and they are kind of complex, and if you ever want to know more about that, a great resource is manufacturedhomeloans.com. They are amazing at land home packages, and I know the gentleman over there, and I'm confused by it, but I'll let him handle that stuff. I'll just do this. Zoning and permitting hurdles. Some areas have restrictions, higher costs due to manufactured homes. All of those things you want to look at when you go into purchasing your home. So there's a lot to think about when it comes to, and all of these questions also are for stick-built homes too. So you have to balance what you need as a family, just like I need to balance what I need as a family and what you would like to have. So, take a look at manufacturedhomes.com if you want to take a look at any of the homes. We have so many homes on that website. You can really kind of pinpoint one you like and learn more about the homes following those links. So, but thank you everybody for joining me today. I truly appreciate your time and everything, but I'll see you at the next home tour, wherever that one may be. But until then, remember to live smarter, choose manufactured, have a wonderful day, and as always, travel easy. See you next time, everybody.